I didn't unmute my microphone there for a second, but hello. Um, Welcome back. We're doing some more sound design today. Glasses are covered in dust, but yeah, happy Monday. We're doing some final touches here to the League of Legends cinematic that we've been working on. I'm going to create really fast a new version of it so that we don't lose the last one, just in case you ever want to revert back to stuff. So we're at a point where I want to start mixing. And I don't think it's at too bad of a spot right now. Because I typically just mix on the way, like while I'm designing. Because that's what gives me inspiration, is finding where stuff kind of needs more, where stuff feels like it's lacking a little bit. So I like to make sure stuff is clean and whatnot, because if it doesn't sound clean, or if it's sounding a little off in some way, if I can't hear anything, or I want to hear something else in there, I'll usually just fix it right then and there, because that'll help me give me a clearer idea of what to add next or what to take away next, stuff like that. Just pretty much what needs to be changed. And it makes it easier to fit stuff in later as well. Like fitting in the crowd fighting wasn't too bad, because I knew I was going to do that from the beginning, and made sure that there wasn't a lot of stuff in like the 1 to 2K kind of frequency range. Because if you've ever listened to like white noise, I mean, I can demo that really quick. Also, for some reason, my mouse sensitivity is like really weird. Like I'm moving my mouse in like a circle on my mouse pad, but it's this like oval, like a very vertical oval right now. My vertical sensitivity is like way more than my horizontal sensitivity for some reason today. I was gonna restart my computer and like see if that fixed it, but I had to start streaming, so we're just gonna kind of cope with it for the time being. So don't mind me if I'm just like, oh, let me go to the white noise folder, and I just keep missing it. But so we've got our white noise here, right? There we go. It's white noise. But if we take a bandpass filter and we set this to 1 kilohertz, that's 100. There you go, 1 kilohertz. It should sound, like a crowd. At least that's how I interpret it. It sounds like a crowd at a stadium. Like almost. I think if we maybe lowered it just a bit. That's sort of how it sounds to me. I mainly there was in one of my classes at DePaul, for like film sound design, you would have at the start of every class, like a hearing test kind of thing, where the professor would have pink noise and then would boost a certain frequency range within the pink noise, and it would be different spots of different octaves. Oh, sorry, that was a sudden sneeze. He would he would boost different parts of the frequency spectrum, like 2 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz, 60 hertz. I think he did 100 hertz, 250 hertz, 500 hertz, a kilohertz, 2 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz and 10 kilohertz, and maybe 15 kilohertz as well, which is kind of mean. Just boosting 15 kilohertz. Not many people can, like, the highest I can hear is about 16. It's gotten a little lower over the last like couple years. So I'm at like 15.5 to 16 kilohertz for how high I can hear, which I'm not really happy with because, normal human hearing or average human hearing goes up to 20 kilohertz. So stuff at like 18 kilohertz, which might be audible to some other people, I just can't hear, depending on what I'm listening on as well. Like, I've tried doing it on my headphones. My headphones kind of round off the highs a lot. But hearing tests that I've done at other, like, we do it like as an icebreaker almost in an audio class at the Paul, where the professor will be like, "Did you know you can't hear above this frequency?" And then we'll play like something at like 30 kilohertz, and I'll be like, "You can't hear this, haha." And then he'll say like, "All right, we'll just lower it until you can hear it." And he'll say average human hearing starts at 20 kilohertz, and so it'll pass 20 kilohertz, and no one will be able to hear it. And I'd be like, "Uh-oh, you guys have hearing loss." And then they're all like, "Oh, no, I can't hear." But then it gets to like 18 kilohertz, and then all the girls in the room start hearing it, because I think women have better or a wider hearing range than men. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like that's something I've heard. But usually, like, a good chunk of the class will start hearing it around 18K, 17.5K. Hello, Kai. Thank you for the hydrate. I'm actually really parched. Thank you for that. But then when the note got down to like 17K, 16.5K, almost the whole class could hear it, and then I couldn't. And I was like, "Oh no." And then around 16K, I started like feeling it a little bit and hearing it. I was like, "Okay, I'm not that worried, but I'm a little worried." And now it's closer to like 15.75K, than 16K. But again, I think that's mostly due to my headphones and the stuff that I listen to it on, because most of the things that I have to listen on are like pleasure listening type of things. I take that back. I remember I did do one on the new set of headphones here. I got the Shure, and yeah, it was the same thing as like 15.5, 15.75K. So anyways, that was a tangent. He boosted all those different frequencies of pink noise, and then whenever he would boost, he was like, "Here's a good tip: just like write down what you think it sounds like, any kind of association." And so like 1K for me, I remember, was a crowd, like cheering, like going ah ah, and at 2K, to me was like birds cawing, like toucans and stuff. It was a lot clearer on the pink noise and on white noise, but I don't have any pink noise. And then I think 5K was like insects or something. And then like 10K for me was like cicadas or something. I want to say 500 was like an AC unit. Like, it sounded like my air vent at my apartment. So I was like, oh yeah, that's my air vent. And then 250 was wind blowing through a car window when you're on a highway, something like that. And then I might have gotten those two switched, but 100 was something. And then 60 was just like, oh yeah, 100 was like a low rumble that I could hear, and then 60 was a low rumble that I couldn't hear. Which I mean, I can kind of hear that, but it's probably just the bandpass filter being a little wide. Um, because I think what he literally did was just had an EQ. Oops. And what he did was just had a notch, and it was like this, pretty much. And he'd set that there. And it was like, how are you supposed to? It was like so thin, the like frequency band that he had. I was a little mad, but either way, that's enough of memory lane type of stuff. I want to get down to mixing this, and so I have three main things. Here's the fun bit, because in the title I know it says chess. I have three main things that I want to tackle before saying that I'm happy with it. I want to see if I can get the crowd a bit cleaner and more audible, and just more, um, I guess, dynamic, because it really just gets kind of muffled with the sword or with the knives going around. So I think what I want to do is, instead of just low passing it, I just want to lower the swords a bit and keep the vocals up. Maybe increase the one shot vocals a bit. So I have a plan for that. The sword impacts, or the knives that the main character has. Oh, someone told me the main character's name. Hold on. Ignacio from the Discord. Not the Discord, the Slack. Told me the champion's name. I'm looking through our chat, and it's somewhere. Okay, here it is. Aurelia. Aurelia. Okay. So her name is Aurelia. I've learned that. And I think the big dude at the end is this big rock monster is Scion. I don't know, man. I don't play this game. But Aurelia's knives there. Um, I want those to be more impactful, like kind of hitting you in the chest a little more, just to really sell the impacts. I might even add some Foley in there when she hits the what is it, the army guys, the bad guys. I know it's a little weird. It's like, oh, that's not mixing. That's just more sound designing. It's, to me, it's part of the mixing process. Is, I don't know, making things more audible and clearer is sort of what I think of with mixing. So if adding a bit of Foley there really sells the impact a bit more, to me that's mixing it a little better. um. So yeah, that's what I want to do with that. And then overall, I mean, those were two suggestions. I posted this on Twitter to get some feedback on how people thought it sounded. Most of it was really positive, so I appreciate that. Or all of it was positive. There wasn't any negative feedback at all. So all of it was really positive. But those are the two actual like pieces of critical feedback that I got. I appreciate that. And then I want to make the swords a little cleaner, because right now they feel a bit muddy with everything else playing. And I think that's just because I started with the knife attacks and I wanted them to feel full, and then everything else is just sort of kind of getting in the way. So I think that's just a matter of EQing the whole thing a bit. So that should be a simple fix. But the fun bit for today is that we're going to do one of those things, and then in order to keep our ears fresh, we're going to play a little chess. I've got chess here on another Chrome window. Um, make this a little smaller. And so we're gonna play a game of 5 minute chess. Every time that we feel like our ears are getting a little tired, or we have finished something and we want to listen to it with fresh ears again, we're gonna take a break, play a game of chess, come back to it. Um, I'm not good at chess, so don't expect any wins really, especially with 5 minute chess. Initially, I was gonna do 10-minute chess, but those games can last 20 minutes total. And I was gonna do bullet chess instead, which is just 1 minute aside. And I'm too small brained for that. And also, I feel like it wouldn't be enough time for me to get fresh ears, anyways. So, happy medium, 5 minute chess. Um, all right. And you know what? I'm gonna pull up my folders for where are they? I have music, the stream music. Let's go down. Yeah, here we go. Stream music. And I'll loop one of those while I'm playing chess just to make it a little less boring. But let's start with listening to what we have right now. Oh, and I can just do this. That's right. Okay, that's not the beginning though. This is what we have so far, just as reference. Okay. So I think that ending is fine. Sounds pretty well kept. It's mainly around this area, like here-ish, a little before that. Feels a little crowded. So forgot this wasn't the original audio for a sec. Oh, I appreciate that. I think that is a huge compliment. So I guess we'll start with the first thing on the list, which I mean you can see is just we're gonna start with the crowd. So the crowd is gonna be making it more audible during this section here. This is our main problem area, is just the part where the swords do this. Also, that already sounds really muddy to me. Let's just start with that. So first thing I want to do is just on the whole thing here. I like to start a bit macro and then go micro. With this kind of stuff, make bigger changes and then start tweaking the smaller stuff. Just because the bigger changes might get you far enough. You don't need to worry about the smaller stuff at that point. So I'm going to start with this reducing 300 hertz by about 3 dB. And actually, I'm going to cut below, instead of 30 hertz there, 100 hertz. I might actually make this a bit of a steeper curve there. I do like some of that stuff in 60 hertz, but it's a bit much. It's a bit too dynamic. So I'm going to try and make that a little flatter dynamically. Everyone's going live on Twitch and I'm getting all these emails. So I'd like to squash that quite a bit. Maybe keep that ratio at like 6. Like a pretty decent ratio on that. And then we can boost it back by, you can see down here with multiband dynamics, this number right there is how much it's being reduced. I guess you probably can't hear me over the thing, but that blue number is how much the multiband dynamics is reducing that frequency band. And right now that frequency band is 120 hertz and lower. So pretty much the range that I want to work with. So it's about here-ish and lower. And you can see this big kind of blob of frequencies that are happening in there. So I want to squash those down so they're not like going, you know, oh, I just blew into the mic like a bunch. So they're not going like that kind of stuff. This is what I get for not having a pop filter on. So yeah, they're not just like going all over the place dynamically, and instead it'll be a little smoother, more consistent, but it'll still have a little bit of that like bounce to it, I guess. It's hard to explain dynamics without actually just saying dynamics, because I don't know, I learning like what dynamics were when I was starting out with audio, just it crumpled my brain into a little ball and then tossed into a trash can. It was weird. I didn't quite understand it. But then as soon as you find like your first redesign that has something that's too dynamic, then you're all of a sudden like your brain expands and you're like, holy crap, that makes so much sense. So I'm gonna boost back by like 6 dB and see how that sounds. Since it was about like -10 it peaked at there, I'm gonna try and split the difference. I think 3 dB is a good spot for that. It's about here. And then I think that's fine in the other frequencies, but let's just see if there's any problems. I'm going to round off a bit more from the top, I think. Okay. I do kind of want that high end to be a little crispier, a little just more aggressive, I guess. So I'm going to take this decapitator and I'm going to get a little funky with it. I'm going to just do the high frequencies into this decapitator. So the way I like to do that is with an audio effect rack. So I just had that decapitator here and I pressed Command G to group it into an audio effect rack. And then I created a new chain in the audio effect rack that has nothing. So that's just the same audio passing through that. So imagine the signal chain here, and then it gets split. I can't move this hand further down, so it gets, you can try going up, so it gets split, right? These are the same audio still, but you have different effects up here. So it's getting run through the distortion, and then it's not getting run through the distortion, and then summed back together. So if I didn't have anything, it would just get twice as loud, technically, because it's doubling the audio. But what I want to do is before that decapitator, put an EQ3, and then on the dry chain here, which has nothing on it. Whoops. I don't know why it did that. I'm going to put another EQ3 right there. So now there's 2 EQ3s on there. And then on EQ3, you can turn off different frequency bands by just clicking those buttons. So this like turns on the mid frequencies and that turns off the mid frequencies. So for the highs here, I'm just going to leave the highs on. And then for everything else, I'm just going to turn the highs off. So that way, if I didn't have that decapitator there, it would be the same audio and it wouldn't sound any different. But with the decapitator after that, I'm just saturating and distorting the high frequencies. And you can set that split with these knobs down here. So 2.5K and up is the highs. 250 and lower is the lows, and anything in between that is the mids. Not sure what the 24 and 48 are. Let's find out. I don't use EQ3 that much. 24 and 48 dB filter switch. Toggles the filters between 24 and 48 dB. The higher setting results and more drastic filtering, but requires slightly more CPU. So we'll leave that at 24 because I don't think we really need to go crazy. And plus, I kind of care about my CPU at this point. Since I am doing this whole clip, my CPU is probably crying at me, especially with all these other extra knife attack clips in there that we're not using anymore. Maybe I should delete those. I might do that. These like unused synth takes. I don't know. I'll leave them for now. And if it becomes a problem, I'll get rid of them. Right now, it seems to still be going fine. So anyways, the highs here, I want to first off just solo them. So I can solo each chain, which is quite nice. I kind of want to boost that up to like 5K. Oops. Let's do 4.3K. Oh, you can't just type in K. 4300. Cool. And let's do like 3K. Because I do kind of want a little bit more of those high mids in there. 3.5K. Yeah, that 3.5K is what I want. So then on the other one here, I'm just going to match that. Just so there's no crossover. And it doesn't really quite matter for the mids and the lows unless I really want to start affecting different frequency bands in different ways. This is a good start to doing that. You could even, I don't know, I might actually already have an audio effect rack that has stuff split up. No, I just have one for a little radiator because I did that a lot. I would just put little radiator on the mids and highs and then not the lows because it would completely just blast out the lows in a funny way. But I should make an audio effect rack that's just 3 chains of EQ3 and then do some macros and whatnot just for multi-band processing because it's quite nice doing multi-band processing when you're mixing stuff because then you can start really getting intricate with like different frequencies and stuff. So I want to just see how this sounds like that. Okay. That's quite aggressive and a bit loud. You hear like a little whoop in there, which is kind of funny. I'll darken it up a little bit with the tone here. Which pretty much just cuts the highs a bit. I'll do a high cut just as well. Okay. Let's see what it sounds like a little bit more on the drive. I kind of actually like that. Maybe not that much though. I kind of like it a little bit right there. And we can lower the output a bit. Okay. And then I do kind of want to compress the highs a bit as well, because they're a bit all over the place. It's weird that we're still getting some frequencies in there from, oh, it's probably from Decapitator, to be quite honest. So right after Decapitator, I'm going to put in an auto filter. and we'll set this to 3,500 hertz. Because we're getting a bunch of stuff from there. And it's all from the decapitator. Now that is bingy. Cole, what is bingy? Okay. But I do want to keep things a little cleaner. It means good? Okay, tight. Then thank you. I'm glad it's bingy for you. I'll keep this at like 1 kilohertz. Is it 1 kilohertz or 1 kilohertz? Because I swap between the two. 1 kilohertz feels better, but 1 kilohertz also feels just grammatically correct. I think that's all. I think grammatically is a word, right? Grammatically. Yeah, it is. Nice. It's an adverb even. Okay, so I want to compress the highs just a bit here, and I don't want makeup gain. I just want to reduce how much they're peaking up a bit. Do like a slow, I just want it to be very subtle kind of compression. So increase the attack and the release there. Mainly keeping the release high just so it doesn't get too jittery. So like I like around 500 milliseconds to 750 milliseconds for that kind of stuff. I think 500 is sounding fine. And then for the attack, I like to keep that around 30 milliseconds to like 20 if I'm trying to keep something a little smoother and not so noticeably compressed, you know? So we can see how that sounds with the other layer, which sounds like this. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to put an EQ after that. Get this decapitator out of the way. This is just the lows and the mids. I'm still getting a little bit of sub in there, so I'm going to cut that out again. You know what? We're actually going to use a different EQ. There's this EQ. I think this is free. Called Equal. By Track or T-Rax. I saw it on Twitter a while ago where people were putting up alternatives for FabFilter plugins, and this was someone's best suggestion for a sub for ProQ from FabFilter. FabFilter. I said FabFilter for a second. I don't quite use it that often because I think even if I had FabFilter ProQ, ProQ 2, I still would just use Ableton's EQ more often than not, just because of the ease of just editing it down in the rack here. But I like to use Equal whenever I'm being like really precise about things, because I know Ableton's EQ is not super precise on things. And it's kind of nice just to like, you can double click and add in nodes and whatnot wherever you want them. Oops. I thought I did Command Z to try and get rid of the nodes that I put in there. Doesn't quite work like that. Yeah, I like this EQ. It's very nice. Just a little bit not really suitable for my workflow because I'm so used to not working with VSTs because I worked without them for like a year. Mainly because I started in Studio One, and it was like a light version of Studio One where it wouldn't let you use VSTs at all. So I just kind of struggled without one. I never EQ'd anything either back then, but when I started working with Ableton, I still didn't have any VSTs, and I didn't really know how to work with VSTs at all. So I just didn't. for like a good few months. I just didn't bother with VSTs at all. And then as soon as I started getting a couple, I was like, this is great. I'm going to get more. And then I realized how expensive it was, and I didn't get VSTs again for a little while. Um, so yeah, long story short, working with VSTs, especially like for simple things like an EQ that I would use all the time, doesn't quite fit into my personal workflow. But if it works for you, I do recommend using this EQ. It's quite nice. I'm gonna put a spectrum at the end of this. Okay. We don't need anything below like 80 there. That seems fine. And then I kind of want to reduce a little bit more in these low mids. It's feeling a bit rumbly still. So I'm thinking like 100 hertz is where that's a problem at. Yeah, about 100 to 150 hertz. Let's reduce about here by like 3 dB. It's nice you can scroll wheel on this to change the Q on it. I've never had that ability before. I always just hold Option and click on it. That's how the EQ works for me and for Ableton's. Oh, dude, I can also resize this. Yo, nice. It looks kind of bad, but I do like having VSTs a lot bigger. Okay, I think that's good. I am going to make this a little smaller, though. You can really make that huge, though, if you really wanted to. But I'll make that just about like that big. Cool. Is there anything up here that I could fiddle with? No, I don't think any of that really helps at all. What I don't remember how to do is how to get rid of a node. Okay, yeah, there you go. You just click on this little X there. Nice. All right, so I'm happy with that, I think. Right there, it gets a little muddy. I think we might have to start going into the tracks here. Let's get this a little cleaner, this one. Whoops, hold on. Yeah, these whooshy kind of impact things aren't really peeking out too much. Where does this turn on? This compressor, oh, at the beginning here. Weird, okay. That's fine. What I kind of want to do it's a weird resonance in there. This stuff down here. It is like background noise and whatnot in there that's coming in, so we can get rid of that. So I know we said that we were going to start on the crowds, but we're starting with the cleaner swords. I'm trying to make them, or knives. So we're still starting with one of these major points here. But I'm feeling that we're getting close to a chess game. We'll see once I finish up the knives here how it sounds. And we can't really A/B test it, which is a little unfortunate. I mean, I have the video still around from when I posted it on Twitter, so we can. It's just, it'll be a little janky. But I think I really want this stuff to poke out a bit more. So what I'm going to do here is group these together and sidechain them to the kicks that are down here. And this is gonna kind of coincide with the sword impacts a bit, the knife impacts. I'm gonna sidechain this from track 76. Okay. And that way it'll be a little punchier, a little kind of like that. Kind of like that snap. And we'll keep the release pretty quick. Like, I don't know, even 70 milliseconds feels a bit long. Even bring up the volume of this probably. Do I have ambassador on this anywhere? On there? So on the whole Doppler, I have ambassador. It's odd. What if I just moved this ambassador to the kicks here? Well, first off, hold on. This, we need to turn these highs back on. So let's just hear how this sounds with these together. Okay, I actually like that a lot more. Could we turn off that decapitator? Just feels a little bit more excited. I might bring that up a bit. Yeah, that feels a little loud. I might reduce the input a bit. Okay, it feels like it clips a little bit too in the synth stuff. Yeah, right there. Is that just the sound though? Like, let's make a test track down here with nothing on it. Yeah, that is just a part of the sound. A little strange, but fine. it does feel more like it's clipping than anything. I wonder if I could put declip on it. Not really doing too much. What if we really brought the threshold down? Yeah, it doesn't quite do it. That is okay then. Oh god, tea down the wrong pipe. Okay. So I think. Oh, this is weird. I have this stuff like double grouped. Odd, but okay. I wonder if I could just like cut those highs a bit, like really steeply. Yeah, actually that works because we're not even using those high frequencies. Oh, that's everything. Oops. Yeah, that feels a little nicer now that we don't have those highs in there. It feels definitely a bit cleaner. I may want to reduce those a bit more, so. Let's just bring that whole layer down a bit too. Yeah, that seems okay. I'll keep it at like 5.7. So my main goal is to try and keep this feeling balanced, and not so just kind of like a whole bunch of stuff thrown at a wall, you know? I want it to feel like it's super cohesive to the point that it is purposeful, because it is purposeful. It just, it needs some cleaning up, because there's a lot going on. Let's check out this layer here. I'm mid-side EQing on this. Let me go with mid-side EQing. I kind of actually like that resonance in there, but I'm not sure about all these rumbly bits in there. Let's make that a steeper cut. And let's just kind of do a little dip right there of like 4 dB. And we can just round off the highs a little bit at like 15K. Because the low frequencies in there are going to muddy up the impact bits. So not only are we making it cleaner, but we're leaving some more room for those impactful bits in this whoosh packed layer that I still love the freaking name of. So good. Okay, and the untremoloed stuff here. Could cut the highs a bit. And honestly, I don't know. Maybe we'll see how it sounds in context of everything. Okay. These kicks aren't really coming out too well. So what I'm going to do is copy this compressor, the sidechain, and stick it on the Doppler group here. And I'll leave it off of the untremoloed group because it's not really, the untremoloed group is not really getting in the way of anything anyways. At least not the lows like the Bush Pact would be. So we'll see how this feels now. Okay. How about with everything? That's quite a lot of sidechain. Let's reduce this from negative 25 dB to like negative 10. It still feels like quite a lot. So why don't we see how negative 5 sounds, and if that doesn't work, let's do some dry wet stuff. Okay, that feels a little better, but I kind of liked how 10 dB was feeling. And we'll do 50% dry wet, see how that feels. Okay. Let's do like 66% dry wet and see how it sounds with everything. Okay. Maybe we do 100% and we bring it back down a bit more. Okay, that's way too obvious. So yeah, let's do like 80%. Yeah, it's still super obvious. I might just do a quicker release and a quicker attack, less ratio, and more wet signal. It feels really dull with just the kicks coming through. What I think I want to do is add in a little bit of white noise. I have this little short clip that I like to use. And so we'll stick that at the beginning of every kick here. I see that I faded in the kicks, which is a little odd as well. They probably have a little less of a transient to them. But together, they've got that going for them. Okay, that fits a little nicer. This might go... This track might go better in the sweeteners group, just so it's not getting filtered as much. Because now it'll be like that. I'll still kind of get rid of some of those highs. We don't need all of them. And we definitely do not need anything below like 500 hertz. Okay, that feels a little bit better. It's weird because I don't want this to feel as if we're like slicing people's chests wide open and their guts are spilling everywhere. Because it's not really what's happening. Like in the clip, you can see it's just like they just sort of knock people over. Like, oh, it just knocked over a few people, and like that guy, it hit his helmet, so there's like some sparks that fly. So it's not really like slicing people in half, but it's just like hitting them. And like when she goes and does that, no one's got like blood flying out of them, or it's not like super gory or anything. So we're not trying to make it super visceral. We're just trying to make it impactful and actually feel like a hit, you know? We can compare this actually. I think this would be a good time. Just listen to everything. I still kind of hate that side chain. Like a lot. Let's bring down the volume of the kicks a bit. And maybe reduce this as well. I think the sidechain for the Doppler here has just got to go. Yeah, because at this point I'm making it too subtle. Like I keep reducing it to the point where I'm only just barely being able to hear it, and I think at that point it's just worth not doing, because then it's just one more thing in there that's not really adding a lot. That's sort of a methodology that I like to keep in mind whenever I'm getting too nitpicky about something, is like if I'm working with this to make it so subtle that no one's ever going to hear it, and maybe I don't even notice that it's there sometimes, it's worth considering taking it out completely, because if it's going to be barely audible, why even have it in there in the first place? Because like, what is it adding? If it's not adding anything super noticeable or super important, then really consider just taking it out. I'm kind of considering taking out this sidechain because it doesn't seem to be helping in any way. And I keep doing things to mitigate how much it's not helping, how much it's hurting actually. So I think I'm just gonna get rid of it. And like that last little impact there feels really good. So I'm gonna see what I did for that maybe. Okay. So there's that in there, which I think is adding the bulk of it. Yeah, it is. So that little like shield bash type of sound in there, really helping this thing, which is just a library pull from that like medieval crowds thing, and it's, I don't know, it's in there, and it really just kind of adds a really nice transient. So I'm kind of tempted just to see. The first hit is about here. I'm going to reduce this by like 10 dB on the clip and see how that feels. I kind of like that. Like if we disable this clip, there's not much there. But if we bring it back, there's just a little bit of a bump in there that I really kind of enjoy. Yeah. You can even kind of hear the whoosh in there if I brought it up a little, which I think is good. So, is there any processing on this at all? There isn't. So in that regard, let's take that out of there. Make a new group here called hits. And then drop that into the hits group here. Reduce this track by 10 dB. And then just drop this on all of the end bits here, or all on the where the kick drums are pretty much at. Just adds a little bit of a smack, and it could be worth as well just pitching these up a little bit so they're not super similar, so it doesn't feel super samey. This is more of just a sweetening kind of thing than anything. But I like that. This one needs to go back a little bit, but if anything, I think it needs to go back more. I think I might want to fade in that whoosh because it's a little long. This one a little quieter. Okay. Yeah, without those. Kind of hits the dude about there-ish. So what if we like really brought that forward? It feels a little off though. Okay, we can bring that whole group down just a little as well. It's a little tempting as well to like throw in some cloth kind of stuff. That's mainly for the character. So we could do, I have in body falls here, these like backpack hits. So I'm gonna grab one of these. Find a good one. Pitched down. They're all kind of dull. It's over here. I think that's me slapping my pillow on my bed. Let's use that. And just line up these transients and then stagger them. I don't want these transients to all be on top of one another because then we'll get clipping issues. Yeah, I think I want them to be a little bit staggered forward. Yeah, And these need to go down by quite a bit. Just round off the sub. Can undo that fade a bit. Okay, so now, and I know they're like wood hits, right? Which doesn't seem like it would fit. And I didn't think they would either. To be quite honest, I didn't think those would work, and they fit really nicely. You don't quite hear like the wood cracking and stuff like that. It almost comes across as like bone in a weird way, like that stuff. So yeah, I'm like, I don't know. This is one of those weird situations where like something kind of works, and I'm not really gonna question why it does, but I'm happy that it does. Okay, these really come through the mix though. Maybe these have to go down quite a bit. I like the whooshes, but they're a bit loud, I think. And it sucks because they're in the same audio clip. We'll just leave them, I think. At the end of the world. It also helps quite a bit. I think it'd be getting a bit too granular to fiddle with it like that. I am going to recolor this end hit to this like bright pink. Okay. So I'm kind of losing sight or hearing of what's different. I'm going to save this. It'll take a second. And let's listen to the old version. Hold on. Go to Ableton projects here. Where is it? League of Legends. Here it is. So our last version of it sounded like this. A little smaller. Okay, and then our version sounds like this. Okay. Oh, now I have more ideas. I want that ending slash kind of thing right there. A lot more like cool. So I think I really want to just cut everything besides that like kind of noise, and then so that'll like really create a huge dynamic change. The swords are definitely sounding a bit cleaner, so I'm happy with that. Let me write down the ending slash. Cut out everything else. And then let's give our ears a little bit of a break with a chess game. was expecting to play a little bit more chess this time around. I'm gonna readjust my mic as well, so hopefully that doesn't come through too badly. Um, yeah, let's just see how this game of chess goes, right? Make this a little smaller. So we still have like Ableton in the background. um, yeah, I'm black. All right. I can't fiddle around too much with my moves here. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. We'll do that. Oh God, he's pre-moving. Okay. I wish I knew what I was doing. Move this out here. Yes, the Scandinavian variation. I'm in check. He's gonna scholars mate me. Um, thankfully I am no child, and I will sacrifice my knight. Yes. Yes, how could I be so naive? My rook. Oh, I'm gonna lose so bad. I'm losing on time and material, and it's not even been a minute. I'm really bad at chess, like I said. Um, but trust me, this guy's going down. See, now it's Clown Town. No one knows what's going on. I mean, we have a little time to work with, right? So we don't have to like go super crazy. I'm gonna do this. Check this out. Ah, never mind. That's a bad idea. I was gonna like do one of those and then like one of those. That's just like really bad. It's a really bad idea. Um, he kind of wants me to do it. Let's move our pawn up to get this bishop out, right? Okay, so he's forked my pawn. No, he hasn't. I don't know what that move was. Ah, I see. He's forked me with my queen. And I let him do it. Oh no, dude. Um, okay, but like check this out. Check. Really putting the pressure on. Yes. Um, of course. Now we protect our bishop with the pawn. And he still takes because it's just a good move for him. Okay. So the thing is, we're gonna lose, but I have 3 minutes. Oh no. I'm using more time and losing so badly. Let's move that up. And now he can take his knight. I'm in check. Oh, discovered check from the queen. Son of a gun. Move our king there. Okay, now he can take his knight. Oh no, man. Cole, don't look. It's really bad. This is like really bad. I can't take that. Oh no, dude. Oh no. What's our best move? Is I think there? Yeah, of course. Um, I think there. We're gonna go all the way to the other side of his board. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. How could I let this happen? Um, oh no. Oh. This is our only move. Oh. I've never played a game of 5 minute chess, so my elo is just inaccurate. Um, this is bad, by the way. This is really bad. Mm-hmm. I don't have much time either. I've lost. I know. Don't give me lessons. Don't give me lessons. Yes, you were a great sport. A good game. I think I'll take a pass. 3 blunders? Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's look at the analysis. We didn't use the whole 5 minutes. Let's see what went wrong. Probably gonna be like the third move I made was a blunder, right? Close. Sixth move. Or the fourth move. So that was a book move, book move, book move, book move. That's okay. So I figured my opening, right? I figured my opening was okay. Figured that wasn't too bad. But after this point, it was the Wild West in my mind. Um, that was a book move. That was a good move, but taking the pawn was best. Why? Just so he could get his knight up there. That's odd, but fine. Um, that was their best move because that's scholar's mate right there. And I should have never opened like that. Um, or it's a setup for scholar's mate. I don't think I've ever been scholar's mated above the age of like 5. So I'm glad to have that one under my belt. Um, I should have just moved the pawn. That's yeah. I, I should have just moved the pawn because then I would have taken with the knight, I guess, and then they would have taken with the pawn there. But whatever. Um, yeah, it was an extreme advantage for them. That was their best move. An inaccuracy, I guess. Yeah, moving the bishop there is fine. I guess losing the bishop over the knight is better. I don't know. I was losing something at that point. Um, okay. It still thought that was a fine move. But okay. They made an inaccuracy there, which is, I guess, good for me. Um, but it didn't quite matter at this point because I was already down in so much material. Um, you know what? I guess taking that pawn is safe. Weirdly enough, taking that pawn would have been actually such a good idea. Because then I could have taken the rook right after that, right? Oh my god. Oh my god. The computer is so right. That would have turned so many tables. A little bit at least. It would have made me feel smart. Okay, that was a mistake. They wanted me to set up to take the knight. But instead I just let the knight check me instead and fork my queen. And they totally saw it. Oh no. Yeah, um that was a mistake. These are all fine moves, I guess. How am I making like good moves in this situation? Didn't feel like I was. Reinforcing my king was a better move. I did think about doing that. I did think about that. Um I guess I should have because this file here is just still closed off by the pawn. Is this a file? The vertical stuff? I always forget what's a file and what's not. Um, and this is just where it was over for me, pretty much. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, good game. Yanero 003. That was a good one. Great game. And we're back. So we've got some fresh ears now. Hopefully, we've taken a little break. Let's hear how this is sounding. Okay, that first impact is a bit much. So I think we need to reduce the kick drum volume in this whoosh packed layer. Maybe we don't actually. Those aren't adding much sub at all. Is it these? Yeah, it is. So this first end hit here can be like 2 dB quieter. So it could be like -8. Yeah, that feels a little bit more natural. Let's do like another ½ dB. Yeah, okay. I think overall in this knife attack stuff, there's not much going on in the sub to begin with. So why don't we EQ it again at the end here? Oops. Yeah, we've just cut pretty much everything below like 70, 80 hertz, which I think is fine. Hi, Colin. Welcome. You came at a nice time. We just lost in chess, and now we're getting back to something I'm a little bit better at, which is mixing. I hope you're well as well. Thanks for stopping by. So I think the knives are sounding okay. If anything, they are still a little muddy in this like 100 hertz range. I don't think lowering the EQ right there is going to help. I think we need to go in to... Sounds like it's in here. Yeah, it's in here. So I think we just need to like get rid of it completely from this layer. Yeah, that feels a little less cluttered. Okay. And I do really want to dramatize or make it more cool at this point. Right there. So I think these things can be a little... One of these can be a little quieter. Maybe they both can be fine. They do need to be a little bit louder or quieter. I still like the weirdness of it though. Sorry to hear about the chess loss, but the knives do sound really good. Thank you, thank you. It was a pretty fantastic loss. I never go into chess with the thought of being able to win. I've never been good at chess, but I do like just playing it. Oh, it's just so fun to just wring my brain. Cowsuit is 8K now? Yeah, dude. I have too many regular viewers to just have someone drop like, 10K and make me wear a cowsuit 10 times over. I gotta adjust the prices. Market changes. It's a, supply and demand, right? Dead. All right, fine. Cowsuit it is. Ugh. All right, well, give me a sec. I gotta go dust it off. I haven't worn the cowsuit in a hot minute. But freaking my dad is gonna make me put on a cowsuit. So give me a sec here. Everything's falling over. I hid it so far in the back of my closet. Here we go. Can't can't change off screen now. All right, here we go. It's only like 15 more minutes. Quit complaining. Yeah, you're right, Dad. Does just feel like a work break for you? I kind of get the opposite. I'm doing a lot of audio programming stuff right now, not as much design. Yeah, for me right now, um, I've never really played chess as like a ear break kind of thing. Um, Usually, hold on, I gotta put the headphones on. All right, cow suit. Cow suit's done. Okay, so usually, um, if I want to take a break for my ears, uh, I'll go like do something else. I'll make food. Um, I will, I don't know, watch a TV show or something. Usually, I kind of overbreak it a bit, um, as well, just to give my brain also a bit of a break. Um, like I'll watch like a 30-minute episode of a TV show, or I'll tune into a Twitch stream. Um, just something I know I enjoy. Maybe I'll play like Animal Crossing or something, play a game. Um, that stuff can be a bit dangerous though, because I'm really bad at like switching tasks. So like if I sit down and I'm like, all right, I'll play a game for like 30 minutes, it'll turn into like 3 hours. And next thing I know, it's like, all right, well, I guess I'll get back to that tomorrow then. Um, so mainly I just chose chess for stream stuff, but I actually kind of liked it. Because I don't know, losing in chess doesn't really make you want to play another game, so I can just get right back to it. With the audio stuff. But if I was doing a lot of programming, um, then honestly, take a break from the programming. I would want to do something physical, maybe, um, like go for a walk. Uh, that's how I've solved a lot of my programming problems. It's just literally not doing anything remotely related to programming. Um, there was one time I was trying to figure out some gameplay design thing. I was trying to program how to like have a cow in. There was like some cow in a game I was making that needed to just like move around kind of randomly. And I was trying to figure out how to get it to look natural, quote unquote natural. Um, and then the solution just came to me when I was walking to a friend's party one evening. This is like 2 years ago, I think. Um, like a year and a half. It was before COVID, so parties were still allowed. Um, but yeah, I was just walking to the party and I was like, I wonder who's gonna be there. I should listen to some music on the walk here. Oh, that's how I should do that programming thing. And then like, thankfully, I remember the solution like the next day when I wanted to do it. But usually with like very thinky, like brain exhausting kind of things, I'll do something that doesn't require a lot of brain power. Um, or maybe even switch to like working on something different like music or something like that. A lot of the times when I work on programming stuff, I work at it at my part-time job because I'm just a receptionist. So a lot of the times, I'm a receptionist at a music lesson studio. So a lot of the times there's just won't be like phone calls or emails for like, like a couple hours or something. Um, and so I'll sit there and type away in Visual Studio or in Unity or whatever. Um, and whenever I get like a phone call or I have to answer an email or two, that's usually a good enough break for me to kind of step back from whatever I was working on, or like I'll browse Twitter or something for 30 minutes. Um, that makes sense and tracks well with what I've noticed for myself as well. Solve like 80% of my hard problems in the shower. Likewise, I think of like 90% of my sound design ideas or um, like game ideas or melodies or chord progressions or whatever in the shower, because I'll get into the shower and I'm like, awesome, time to turn off my brain, and then whatever little hamster wheel in the back starts spinning faster than normal, and I think of just something where I'm like, this is great, I should do that, and then I get out of the shower and I usually don't do it. But hydrate incoming. Thank you, Haley. Dad, you got 24,000 more points. Don't you have something to do? I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I know you work and whatnot with this on in the background, but I had to take the shot. My dad is right. We've only got like 15-ish more minutes left. So I might go a little over. Yes, and it is much more interesting. All right, all right. I was about to say, how's the budget going for your project, but it's not even something you're in charge of. Okay, this is still kind of a weird mess. We're going to EQ this again, and I'm going to be a little brain expanded. And we're going to mid-side EQ this. I forget how to swap it to a mid-side EQ. Oh, here we go. Yeah, mid-side, like that. Because the sides are a bit mushy, if that makes any sense. Okay. And then the mids here. The mids can be actually a little boosted in those lows, low mid kind of bits. But I am going to cut off anything below that, just again. I think that sounds okay. It is a little harshish right here. Okay. How does that sound all together? Okay. We could probably bring back some of those. Yeah, with those in context of everything else, it adds a little bit more fun, I guess, to the side channels. It does still feel a bit too impactful. So maybe we take that ambassador that I stole from here, or that I put there and stole from here, or here. Put this back. That was before or after the decapitator. It does feel a bit punchy. I don't know if I like it being that punchy, because it is very smooth and elegant kind of movement. Let's just bring this layer down. Yeah, I like that actually. Okay, that feels a little smoother. I might bring this back down to -18. It was better when it was up a little bit more, so I'll bring that to like 17.6, 17.5. In the grand scheme of things, 0.5 dB really isn't that much to fret over, but that's mixing, baby. The crowd here. I want to really get this. Yeah, I want to get rid of that filtering nonsense. It's just kind of a cheap way that I wanted to mix it. But instead, I'm going to automate the volume of the swords here. And I think we'll fade them in like that. I'll kind of curve that a bit. So that's fine. And right here-ish. Like when she goes slow-mo right there, I want to duck it big time. And then I want to bring it back about there. So let's start off with ducking it like 10 dB. Oops. -10. And let's duck that like 20 dB. And overall, I do want to duck the crowd more in this little section. We'll just smooth that out a bit. And I want to fade that in a little bit sooner. And about there, I want to cut it big time. I want to just have that pretty much silent. So how does that feel? Okay, maybe we don't duck it that much there. And then here. I should add a one shot for that guy getting hit. Let's see. Okay. That another track just for cleanliness, I guess. I want libraries, the medieval battle stuff from a sound effect, male voices. I like that one. So we'll go with this. And the dude gets hit about there. We'll toss that in about there. God. Oh, it's so far in the back. Oops. It's a little early, I think. Yeah, that seems all right. Yeah, that fits. Just to kind of match with that dude. I could pitch it down a little. Just so it's like slow-mo. But I think that just sounds really cheesy. Okay. It's not super like forward, you know? There's also a lot of reverb on it. Where's that reverb coming from? This. Okay. Definitely like have that dry wet percent. Because this is outdoors. It doesn't really need to be super reverbed out. Yeah, okay. I like that more. Just with less. I want a little bit on there just to like make things feel a little more connected. But 600 milliseconds is kind of a long decay time. Yeah, I like that more. That can go up, maybe. In volume during that slow-mo bit. It's about like here to here. And boost that up. Maybe not that much. And I am gonna lower this dude a bit because that's a bit forward. Does feel a little late too. Whoops. We'll bring that back down. Put you back. Scooch that just a tad forward. Okay, it's still, you still kind of get a little bit of the vocals in there. Just a tad though. We don't really need the footsteps super loud during that bit. That's mainly just people shuffling their feet and whatnot. And it actually feels a bit low, mid, heavy as well. Yeah. So let's, oopsie. I mainly want these like highs and high mids to read as like dirt and grass shuffling with all these people fighting and like stepping all over the place. This kind of weirdly, the scuffs here fade in a little too soon. We can lower, let's see, about here up until here. Can lower that by like 10 dB as a start. I know it's like negative 0.8 or 8.6 or whatever. This is just a rough start. I always just aim for like a number, and if I get close to it, I'll just like, all right, we'll start with that. Okay, actually, that lines up really nicely for her stopping, and that's pretty convenient. So I'll leave that as it is. Ugh. Okay, cool. Okay, we can totally like raise the volume of that stuff there. This bit, I think. That can be a little louder, I think. Boost that up by like 5 dB. This stuff maybe? Whoops. Oh my god, my vertical sensitivity is coming in. What is this track that's not doing anything? Oh, it's okay. What was this? Yeah, that is a bit overkill, isn't it? Okay, we could boost those maybe just a tad. What's that like rumbly bit? It's like, I think that's like the whooshes here. This thing. Yeah, that does not need to be that long. It's a bit dramatic. They really want it to be like all the focus is on those blades right then and there. Like that's the whole frame, right? I was hearing a lot about this on the last Real Talk, which is a great show you should watch. It's every other week on Thursdays. Super good show. People submit their websites and reels, and they get reviewed by his name is slipping me. Kevin Regami. Hold on. The power of Twitter is at my fingertips. Yeah, Kevin Regami, from Power Up Audio, hosts Real Talk every other week, and there was an episode this past Thursday, and that was something that he focused on a lot with one of the websites and reels, was that focus is a huge important piece of sound design, and choosing what's important and choosing what isn't, because whatever has audio to it is what is going to stick out in that scene. So right now, I have pretty much everything happening right here, but when she slides in like this, I want it to feel super dramatic. Like she slides in, all that matters right here is her focus and her intent to unleash this huge attack right afterwards and knock out like 10, 20 guys, you know? So she's really focusing and forgetting everything that's around her and really honing in all of her energy on these blades to do whatever attack it is. And it's super obvious with the intent of the animation. She's looking downwards, really thinking, like getting your hand into a certain position. The knives are all coming from different directions, coming into one single area right behind her. And then as soon as she lifts her hand and her head, they all go forward in a singular motion. So there's a lot of focus, singular point focus in this one clip right here, this one cut. So I want to sell that like big time. And right now the crowd is getting in the way. That whoosh was getting in the way. I think the ambience itself is just getting in the way. So I literally just want to cut everything besides the swords right there. There's nothing playing in the sweeteners. The ambience could definitely go down. I already have a utility on this. Nice. So right here to like here, it can go down, and it can come back up with the cut right there. We'll just literally just cut it completely. Maybe fade that in a little slower. That's where I want the focus of everything to come back in. So when you realize, oh yeah, there's a huge fight going on still. Let's see the crowd fighting. I want that to be even more dramatic. Fit that in a little longer there. Okay. Let's see the whooshes here. There's not much happening in that little area. Yeah, and then the Foley. That I really want to come out, because that's her like moving into position. There should be like a footstep kind of thing there. And I think those are in the crowd. Yeah, footsteps. So let me grab. Just grab that. And find where I was working in right here. Scooch that over a bit. Or you know what? This is from the granulator. I need to go up to the source folder at the top here. I like this one. Yeah, this one. That stands out to me the most. Cool. And we can always browse through there a little bit. But that's just me in my backyard with some boots on, scuffling around in my my grass that we desperately need to cut. And I'm sure I'll be in charge of doing that at some point, which is fine. Do not mind doing it. All right, so first off, let's just color this and then see how it fits. It needs to be forward more. I pitch it down a little bit. And then let's find a different one. It's feeling a bit too noisy. Yeah. I like the crunch of the grass in this one. Yeah, no problem, Dad. I will volunteer to cut the grass. Yeah, I like that. Why is this so muffled? Because it is. Okay, that feels a little more natural. You could really boost that one, I think. Because like it's not the focus, right? So I want to bring it down to a point that feels comfortable, starting at a point where I can hear it. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, the cloth. The cloth feels really heavy. Yeah, we don't need any of this low frequency stuff in there. And we can lower it all just a tad there. Fade that in. Okay. So I think that's everything cut pretty much. So like if I soloed everything that's not the knives, we could totally bring up this vocal now too and make that feel a bit more natural. I really want that to feel more powerful though with the metal here. Where's that stuff coming from? Is it these? Why are these frozen? Bit odd, but okay. Shouldn't mess with them, I guess. I should cut some of those lows in there. That's a bit weird. Oh, this is why. Let's really, you know, dramatize that a bit. I liked how it was before. Like, it felt good. It just needs something else kind of like ringing out. So maybe this will work. We just do it a little sooner. And a higher pitch, maybe. Hold on. Oops. I'm going to duplicate this track here. Get rid of that and get rid of that. Then on this one, you can EQ out those like super high frequencies. And then mess with this a little bit. How about lower? There is like a whooshy kind of thing in there. It's about here. And this whole automation mess can just be eviscerated. Is there a way I can like delete all of the automation from this freaking track? Okay. So on here, I definitely want this to fade a little more naturally. It's not really doing it. I need like a shh kind of sound. Maybe we add in another like knife. This cow suit's getting warm, man. Let's do this one and reverse it. That'll be cool, I think. Because it'll line up. Oopsie. Should line up a little nicely. Yeah. Ooh, my voice cracked so badly there. I had it in a nice spot. Just completely lost it. A little bit further back. Yeah, okay. A little bit back, and I think that should be fine. Okay. A little further back, maybe. Forward. Okay, I think right here is good. And then I want to fade that in. I want to compress that to bring out the ringing a bit more. I want to run it through double lock to make it more aggressive. And then only do a little bit of it. Here, we'll automate this mix to go away right there. Okay. And then I want a reverb to automate in at the end here. Oops, that's the decay time. I want the dry wet signal to go to like 50% at the end of this. That's a bit much. Okay. And I want to EQ this to not have any lows really. Cut out some of those extreme highs. And then I think I want another knife. It's like this one. I think I want to distort this one quite a bit with double lock. This is more sound design, I guess, than mixing this part of it. And then I want to freeze and flatten that. Just so I can reshape it with a fade. Oops. Yeah, and then on this, I want to boost the highs again. And then I want to run it through Decapitator with the tone knob just up a bit on the brightness. And then EQ it one more time just to get rid of any unwanted frequencies. Those, stuff down here. And then together, I think maybe we gotta automate that one to end. Like to be quiet. To end didn't make any sense there. Like, whoops, I want to do something like that. What if I did something like this? Kind of like that. Feels like I could use something else. Feels like it's missing something in there. Maybe it's missing. whoops, like this in there. Pitch this down. Something like this, maybe? That feels a little cooler. We brought the volume up of that. I want this to be like really highs heavy though. Like there. Maybe even quieter then. How does that compare to the original? We have it still open in QuickTime here. And here. Maybe this needs like its own kind of reverb. Maybe fade this in a little smoother. Just have like a little bit of that tremolo come in during that. And then have some of this scrapey business here. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. Let's see how it sounds in context with everything else. Just with comparison and like contrast, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that does feel a bit more dramatic, doesn't it? It feels like it needs something leading into that though. Like a whoosh. So why don't we grab just one of my whooshes from here. I like this one. I think I kind of want like a noisy one. Drop that in here, reverse it, and then cut out the sub in here because I know it's going to be huge. It's panned to the left for some reason right there. So why don't we center that? Oh, whoops. Well, let me line it up first. Yeah, okay. And we'll really just cut it off at the end there. Yeah, and then we'll automate it to be in the center. that. Do that. Okay. See how that sounds. Yeah, that whoosh really kind of sells it, doesn't it? A little loud. I think it could use a little bit more in the highs here, a little less in the low mids. Yeah, that does kind of sound cool. The whole knife sounds, I am gonna increase. Right there. So let's, first off, let's delete that automation. Bump it up about here-ish. Can we push that more? Those need to go to the right. I haven't panned those correctly. This needs to go to the right all the way. Maybe not that much though, it's a bit dramatic. But it needs to be that sort of. Yeah, let's do that. Shout out to that tweet about wishes being half of sound design. Dude, for real. Wishes add so much. Like, it's insane. Like, if I, like, even just turn off the wishes. Okay, that sounds like it's in a good spot. If I turn off my wishes group here. Well, first off, here's how it sounds like with the wishes, right? And then without the wishes. There's like other various wishes strewn about in there, but it's just a little less. It's just a little less interesting. Like that main wish at the beginning. It's that one, that in there, and that one in there. That just really sell like the speed and velocity of things. These wishes over here though could be a little quieter now that I hear them with more of a focus on them. So I could just reduce those a little bit. I might keep it louder at the beginning here. I feel like that needs to fade out a little sooner. Stuff. Yeah, that stuff's a little long. We listen to much of the sound design from Fire Force. No, I haven't. What's Fire Force? Because I've not heard of that before, I think. Sounds familiar, but it also sounds unfamiliar. This needs to be way quicker. It's an anime. Yes, then I have heard of it. Okay. Okay, I have heard of it. There was some tweet. This was like months ago, but someone was like, "Dude, what shows have really good sound design? Like, I'm looking for some good animes that have sound design." And everyone was like, "Demon Slayer, Fire Force." So I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll see if I can look up one of them." What you're doing here reminds me a lot of the sound, a lot of some of their movement designs. Oh, I'll have to check it out then. I'm almost done with watching an anime right now. Um, Maybe when I finish that, I'll check out Fire Force because I remember checking out like the art of it and it looked cool. Um, and I trust that it sounds good. Because Demon Slayer sounded tight and everyone was like, "That sounds really good." So I trust that Fire Force is also really good. Um, I'm finishing ReZero right now, but when that's done, I'm almost done with the second season. When I'm done with that, I'll be all over Fire Force then. Because if they sound like this, then like, oh, it's gonna be reference city for me. Because I love this kind of crap. This is so fun to me. Like the like kind of like stuff. Oh, so neat. Does that feel empty now? A little bit. It needs more of a whoosh going into it, doesn't it? So how about like we've got that. Why don't we take this again and pitch this down quite a bit? Yeah, we can make that a little louder. Yeah, that feels a little better. Fire Force does some really cool, pretty unique synth electric explosion stuff. I'm not sure how else to describe it, but it's really fun. I can get down with that big time. I love weird, like synthy stuff that doesn't fit. Like all of my Genshin redesigns have been pretty much aiming for that kind of stuff, where it's just like, this would never work as an explosion. Let's do it. Like, it's super fun to just like kind of throw all your concerns about having it sound like an explosion out the window and just say like, what if we made a new explosion? Because I've never heard it before. Let's see what other people how they react to it. And so far it's working out. People really like them. So I'm excited to try more of them, and I'd love to hear other people's stuff like that. So Fire Force, you're selling me on it big time, Colin. I haven't watched season 2, but ReZero season 1 was very good. Agreed. Season 2, pretty good. I'm liking season 2 more than season 1, I think. Um, Season 1 was a bit too anime for me when it started out. I was like, oh, jeez. Like, I don't know if I can make it through it. And then, because I started watching it for reference, I was making some fantasy sound design stuff, and I was like, oh, this is a fantasy anime. And then it didn't really give me much reference to work off of, but it was really good to watch. So I kept watching it after I picked up on the good stuff from it. Season 2 is a lot more focused though on what makes it interesting. I'm a big fan of that. It feels a little heavy-handed. That. Okay. Maybe like 5 dB. Okay, I'm cool with that. How is this sounding overall? Because I'm starting to lose sight of it. The footsteps don't have a lot of impact anymore. Because I got rid of the sub. So let's automate that. Because I like the bassiness of the footsteps at the beginning there. So let's bump that up a bit. It was mainly the cloth, right? It was a bit. Yeah, I don't even know why I did this. Let's delete that automation and just keep it at like there. And on the cloth, I should have just EQ'd out that stuff. That's all I really need from it. Is this like low mid to mid stuff. I didn't start season 2 right away because I remember season 1 feeling exhausting. Yeah. Um yeah, season 1 yeah. Season 1 gets really heavy. Like I wasn't expecting it to get like that and it got really heavy. I was like, "What? Bro, you got to chill on like some of this. It's kind of intense." Um so far season 2 hasn't been as heavy. It's been more emotional though. That's for sure. Like in a nice way. Um, I feel like I've been relating a lot more to the characters, or at least learning about them a bit more. Um, and it's not been like this person is like, go no, dude, no, like you no. It's not. It's not really any of that. Um, I think. Um, my memory's not very good, so I could be completely wrong, but I don't think it's been like that yet. Um, um, no, it does kind of get. It's definitely not as much, but it doesn't tone it back too much, I'll say. I don't want to get too detaily about it because then it could get spoilery. But it's good. It's good. I feel like I want to lower the swords a bit more in the crowd here. Especially here. It's like about here-ish. Lower that stuff. Already, I'll definitely prioritize it higher. Thanks for the rec. Yeah, no problem. Like, I mean, don't feel pressured or anything, right? But it's good. It's definitely worth having on your list to watch at some point. People recommend me anime not all the time. That's way over exaggerating. But people like I have a post-it note up here that's like shows I need to watch. Like I have My Hero on there. Attack on Titan's on there. Mob Psycho is on there. My friend recommended me the show Mr. Robot, which I think will be good. At least the first couple seasons he said were all right. Owl House is a show that my mom watched, and I was like, that sounds pretty good. I haven't recommended that from other friends. But I have stuff on here like the second season of Hilda, which I needed to watch. Demon Slayer was on there. Your Name, Your Lie in April, the We Bare Bears movie. Oh, I just blew into the mic a little bit. My bad. Those are all crossed off. So like slowly getting through some of these shows, but it's nice to have a list at least. Yeah, I think that sounds all right. And then the vocals here, I also want to duck. I think I just want to duck the whole thing, maybe. Especially like right there. Like we'll lower that there a bit. And let's do something like that. There's a vocal in there. There's something in there that's sticking out to me. Is it in here? Yeah, there's a yeah. Yeah, this. So let's fade that bad boy out. Honestly, I might even just cut it completely. kind of want some reverb in there with this stuff. Like more audible reverb. I'm gonna, ooh, whoops. I hid my Ableton on accident, which reminds me I should save. I'm gonna do this reverb thing, and I think I'll call it there. I'll do another game of chess, and then I'll go. So we only played one, which I feel a little bad about. I made it seem like we'd be playing like a million games of chess, but the ideas just kept coming. Okay, let's bring that up a bit at decay time. And let's automate. Okay, I want it more like this. Let's do that. That must be the output volume of the chain. I always thought that was the input. Weird, but okay. Then let's do that. And let's make that overall a little quieter. Yeah, that feels good. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. I think then I'm really happy with that. That ending there. This bass drop is so cheesy. Bring it down a bit because it became a little more clear that it was in there. Okay. I'm really happy with this part now. Just because it's so dramatic and like so just extreme. I need to kind of focus in this bit a bit here. I think I might need to make the knives a little bit quieter there when it's zoomed out because it feels a little weirdly close even though we're super far away. And I think that would be a good starting point to have. So I'm actually going to, yeah, I'll save that. Right on my notes here. Crowd, cross that off. Sword impacts, cross that off. Cleaner swords, cross that off. The end flashy cut thing, cut that off, or cross that off. And then I want to have the zoom out, have a quieter sword sound, or knives. Okay. Cool, and I'll save that for next time. All right, let's end this off then with a little bit of chess. Because we did only play one game. I was expecting to play like one every 30 minutes. We only played one in the course of 2.5 hours here. And usually I only go for 2 hours. So I really like mixing. Like, I really like mixing. It's not something where I'm actively like, this feels amazing. But it's something I can sit there and do for hours at a time. Like I have more ideas that I keep wanting to like do with this mixing. As I listen more and more to it, I don't have any blockers really. So I need to like curb it though. Otherwise I'll just completely drain myself and I have other stuff I have to do today. So we'll do one more game of chess here. We can full screen it. So we're sort of done with Ableton. Yeah, let's do a new 5-minute game of chess. And let's lose. We're black again. Let's not set up a scholar's mate this time. Let's open up with a knight. Bird's opening. You love to see it. Do this. Knight as well. Pressure this pawn. Okay. Let's move this pawn up so we can get this bishop out. He's gonna think this is real weird. Yeah, okay. Can move that knight there just so that we don't lose it to a pawn, you know? Okay, so they moved that pawn. That's fine. Move our bishop there. Because we can attack there, and it's protected by this knight. And we could actually take this pawn as well with this knight. That's completely free. Okay, so that's no longer really that good of a move, so we'll just take this. Ah, interesting. So you just get your queen out like that, but okay. We did lose a knight there. Which is so unfortunate. I didn't think about that. Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. Let's move that pawn up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Check. Huh? Okay. My rook. Didn't see that one. We're gonna lose a bunch of material. Unless we can somehow salvage this. I want to get this pawn out of the way, I think. No, we're losing this pawn either way. Or, boom, check that one out. What you gonna do about that? Yeah, got him with that one, huh? We can check them right now with our queen. But it doesn't quite do us much good. Uh-oh, I need to make a move. I need to make a move. Let's I need to make a move. Move that up there. That doesn't open up anything, does it? Okay, no, it doesn't. I mean, for them, I mean. That took a lot of time on that move. Oh, jeez. I can just take that, right? They want me to take it, don't they? I'm gonna put you in check. How about that one? Huh? How about that one? I think I should get this rook out. Let's move this back. So you've still pinned to this pawn there. Yeah. Let's move this up. Yeah. Move that there. My queen! No, I should have moved the pawn. Oh, God. Oh, no, I should have moved this there, too. Oh, God, I have to take this like that. I almost took it with my rook, which would have been even worse. Oh, God, dude. My pawn. Uh-huh. I have to move my king. It's a knight. Let's move it there. And I can't take this because then he just gets my bishop for free. Like, he just gets this pawn. What'd you just take? Come on. Come on. My knight, dude. My bishop, dude. Oh, no. Let's move that there. I am in check. Oh, God. We're losing so much on time, too. I lost. I lost. I lost. I lost. Oh, I lost. Okay. Let's try. I kind of want to try one more. I kind of want to play one more game of chess. We'll do one more. Since we didn't play that many throughout the... Oh, I can't... Oh, I have to... There we go. Man, they already moved on to another game. All right, I'm white this time. Let's open up with the king's pawn. Oh, they left. Oh, no, they didn't. I know like how to do an opening. I don't know any openings off the top of my head, but I know how to do them. Um, Playing a Scotch game. I should really like look at what these are. Beyond this point in the game, I just have like no idea what's going on. We're gonna get weird. If he takes, we're gonna get weird. He didn't take. Probably a smart move. um, but I need to reinforce this pawn because that's just a free take if I don't. It's weird. It's like a few moves in and I already feel like I'm losing. Okay. That is just a take. Like, yeah, you can take it with this, but it's a pawn for a pawn. And he gets his knights in like weird spot. This pawn is weird. I could take his knight for a knight. Um, which feels bad. I'm gonna develop my bishop. I can't. I can't develop my bishop. I took a lot of time for that move. I took a lot of time for like what seems like a really subpar move. Oh. Um Protect that with the bishop because with the knight he could just do that. And that's really bad. Yeah. Okay. Um let's block it with our queen. Why not? We've completely blocked in our bishop though, so maybe we should have done that. I am tempted to move my knight here. Oh jeez. Okay. I'm less tempted to move my knight now. That's my queen. Oh, I need my queen too. I need my queen so bad. Let's move that there. Oh man. Interesting move. But I'll take it. I somehow feel like we're winning now. We are low on time though. Lower on time. Yeah, he has to move this knight, otherwise I guess he couldn't because he was in check. Okay, a castle makes sense. Thanks for your bishop, nerd. Um, let's do one of these. Oh, I'm in check. Weird. Played chess once. I'm sure you did. Most people have played chess once, I think. This is checkmate territory though, right? If I move this here. No, it's not. Um, I do value my queen quite a bit, actually. He's playing for time, which I don't like. Oh, you fool. You absolute fool. He's just got his butt handed to him. Thanks for that. Oh, you absolute fool. Oh. We've done it. We've done it. Oh, we've done it. We won a game of chess. Oh, this was a good stream. It was a good idea to play one more game. This was a good idea. We're 1-3. Oh. You'll love to see it. Oh man. All right. That was good. That was good. All right. That's enough chess. I'm going to end the stream there. I'll play this one more time just on the fresh ears. Okay, the ending feels the most purposeful thing. I need more shimmer on the initial jump. That was an immediate idea that came to me with that. Cool. Awesome. I think that's enough for the next time we work on this. I think after that, that should be it. Cool. Thank you so much for coming out today. Really appreciate everyone that stopped by. So we had like 5 or 6 people at one time. Pretty cool. I'll be streaming again, guaranteed, on Monday. I say guaranteed, almost certainly on Monday, unless something happens. And then Thursday again is always a wild card kind of day. Yeah, I don't know if I'll stream though because I have work, but we'll see. This was fun. I want to do it again next time. The kind of half game, half audio stuff, just something to take a break from doing the audio stuff, especially with mixing at least, just to break it up a little. So I think this is good. This is good. I'll be doing this again on Monday for sure. And then that should be it. That should be a good final mix, I think, for this. At least another good iteration. We'll see how I feel afterwards, but it'll be at a point where I'm happy enough to say like, hey, this is done. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming out. Everyone that was here who stayed, for a few minutes, a few seconds, or even the entire stream. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Be back on Monday. Bye-bye. Oh, there wasn't a transition. Hold on, let's try that again. All right. Bye. Nice. There we go. It worked. All right. Take care, everyone.